Hello everyone, welcome to Link Frequency and I'm Aishwarya Pattar. This video is part of our new series which mainly focuses on Autosar interview questions. Each part includes 3 Autosar questions along with the answer, which significantly enhances your preparations for the upcoming interviews. So without any further delay, let's begin with part 12 video of Autosar interview questions. Well, we are back to screen mode where you can see Autosar interview question part 12 along with the 3 questions represented on the screen. Let's quickly jump into our first question, which basically states, what is acknowledgement error? Well, you can answer to this particular question in the following format. Acknowledgement is an essential mechanism to ensure message reliability and successful data transmission between the nodes. When a node, the transmitter, sends a message to another node, the receiver, it expects to receive an acknowledgement from the receiver, confirming that the message was successfully received and processed. The acknowledgement message serves as a confirmation that the data was received without any errors and that the receiver is ready to receive the next message. If an acknowledgement error occurs, it means that the transmitting node did not receive the expected acknowledgement from the receiving node. Acknowledgement error can happen due to various reasons and their handling depends on the communication protocol and system design. Well, this was all about our first question. Now let us quickly move on to our second question, which basically states, explain classic and adaptive Autosar. Well, you can answer about classic and adaptive Autosar based on the different categories. Let's begin with our first one, which is based on target application. Classic Autosar is designed for traditional automotive ECUs used in powertrain, chassis control and body electronics. Whereas on the other hand, adaptive Autosar is designed for high-performance ECUs used in advanced driver assistance system, autonomous driving and infotainment. Let's move on to our next difference based on software architecture. Classic Autosar follows a layered architecture with static configurations. It consists of application layer, runtime environment and basic software modules. Whereas on the other hand, adaptive Autosar introduces a flexible and modular architecture based on service-oriented communication. It includes service-oriented architecture where software component provides different services. Let's move on to our next point, which is based on configuration. In classic Autosar, configuration is done at the design time with fixed configurations, which means that it emphasizes static configuration and parameterization. Whereas on the other hand, adaptive Autosar supports dynamic configuration and runtime updates. It also enables on-the-fly integration of software components and services. Let's move on to our next point, which is based on communication. Classic Autosar supports traditional automotive communication protocols like CAN, LIN and FlexRay. Whereas on the other hand, adaptive Autosar integrates with modern networking technologies like Ethernet and TCP/IP. It also supports high-speed data communication and connectivity with external networks. Moving on to our next point, which is based on scalability. Classic Autosar supports scalability through predefined configurations and reuse of standardized components. Whereas on the other hand, adaptive Autosar promotes scalability through a microservice-based approach. It facilitates independent development and deployment of software components. Moving on to our last point, which is based on development process. In classic Autosar, development process typically follows a waterfall model with upfront design phases. It emphasizes predictability and safety-critical considerations. Whereas on the other hand, in adaptive Autosar, development process adapts agile methodologies with iterative design and continuous integration. It emphasizes on modularity and reusability of the software components. So these were the few points which would explain about classic and adaptive Autosar. Now let us quickly jump on to our third question, which indicates what is the difference between function and physical addressing in CAN. In CAN, the use of physical and functional addressing refers to different methods of identifying the nodes and their communication addresses within the network. Let's explore more about functional addressing and physical addressing in detail. Let's quickly start with the first one, that is physical addressing. Physical addressing in CAN refers to identifying nodes based on their unique physical identifiers, typically assigned by the hardware or network configuration. These identifiers are known as CAN node IDs or CAN addresses. Each node on the CAN bus has a unique node ID typically ranging from 0 to 127 for standard CAN and up to 2047 for extended CAN. This ID is used to address specific nodes for message transmission and reception. Physical addressing is essential for direct targeting specific nodes on the bus based on their assigned IDs, thus enabling point-to-point communication and message filtering based on recipient node. Let's move on to functional addressing. Functional addressing in CAN involves identifying the nodes based on the functions or services they provide within the network rather than their specific physical identifiers. Instead of targeting nodes by their unique IDs, functional addressing allows communication based on predefined message identifiers or service requests. Let us consider an example. Instead of sending a message directly to node ID 5, that is physical addressing, a node can send a request for a specific service, for example, read sensor data to any node capable of providing that service. Functional addressing promotes flexibility and scalability in the CAN network by decoupling communication from specific node IDs and allowing dynamic discovery of services and enabling distributed and modular system architectures. So this was all about functional and physical addressing in CAN. If you want to know more about Autosar related topics, you can definitely check out Autosar playlist on Link Frequency. Well, this was part 12 video of Autosar interview question series. I hope you found the video insightful. For any queries, you can surely comment down below in the comment section. Until we meet on our next video, happy learning. Tune yourself to make a difference.